really on the clock right now, but yeah, I mean, even I get an hour of rec time, but no, it's fine. I'm not really doing anything much. No, I can make a video. I know you're bored. I get it. You've searched through everything, and I usually use the hour to like exercise or cry or contemplate my existence, but or I listen to podcasts.
Woo! Podcasts! Are they the next best previous thing? As every other media titan morphs and dies, podcasts still seem to be on the rise. Keep going till the head falls off is what I always say, or drive it into the ground. They're still here in mass quantities. There are roughly 4.5 million podcasts worldwide as of 2025. 190 million total episodes, 200,000 new podcasts last year, and how many of them got reach? Because it's all about reach.
Because that's what it's all about these days, right? Like reach. Screw it.
60% got 0 to 10 listeners. That must be a bit skewed. They didn't even listen to their own thing. I mean, listener demand is still growing alongside these numbers, and why wouldn't it? In this oversaturated, more content that you could possibly ever get around to, it'd be great if at least 500,000 regular shows churned out an hour a week. Oh, they do. I'll thank Claxor. Or if that same number gave me $1 each, I wouldn't be sitting here. Sometimes you just want something new. I mean, we were gonna have these fascinating conversations anyway, why not let strangers enjoy them? But where does it all go? No, I'm not talking about listeners, like the quantity of all the, like I have very little understanding of the cloud, but like data centers in the desert are just full of us talking to each other for hours that tens of people or fewer listen to, and porn that tens of billions of people watch. Or what's worse, millions upon millions of people get their news and hot takes from this guy, and these guys, and this guy. And now they get way more listens than any traditional news or radio outlet. Elon Musk just claimed that it'll soon be more efficient to make AI in space than on Earth. And he wants to terraform the moon by 2046. That's more room for podcasts and podcasting. Maybe we put a podcast on the moon, or a podcast about the moon on the moon, or a podcast about podcasting on them. If we've made 4.5 million in under 20 years, I think we can easily crack that. Like if we're ambitious and with improving technology, 20 million podcasts, 50 million podcasts, more? Let's do this. So someday, if I could just get some free time, I could sit down and grind through all 4.5 million, like that one Twilight Zone episode.
Finally have enough time to, oh, god damn it. Well, there's always subtitles.
The best laid plans of Swollen Swine and Splatter City in the Splatter Zone. Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, it makes sense. People have a lot on their mind or just want to rant. And there's not a huge barrier to entry. All it takes is a person, hopefully, and a microphone or even your phone, and an opinion. Like assholes, right? Okay, there is that one barrier. But hey, if you don't mind shouting into a void, podcasting could be for you. What constitutes a show? I don't know. You can make it in your car, no production value, lots of production value, long, short, about something, about nothing, and sometimes that's exactly what people want, and sometimes they don't. But we can't pretend to understand anything anymore, like how one thing succeeds and others fail. All this data when it's really just entropy. My next video will talk all about these get-rich-quick schemes, so subscribe and notifications and libations and all that. And the best thing about podcasts is that corporate America hasn't completely gotten its grubby little hands on it. Netflix announced the acquisition of many major podcasts with established followings. If you follow pro wrestling, hold on, I've got a point. Or if you leaned in, I can do a wrestling episode or 100, because we need more of that. WWE was basically a monopoly in the industry for the past 25 years after buying all of its competition. No one could compete on a major scale. I said no one. So naturally or not so naturally, smaller promotions on the independent scene cropped up all over the place, and bred talent that was a major split from the norm. An alternative to the shareholder-approved, sterilized, cookie-cutter content WWE was producing. And independent wrestling became inspired again, drawing massive, well, relatively, numbers and new fan bases. Without going into too much detail, a fanboy with billionaire daddy money, not that one, got to turn his e-fed into the real deal. Tony Khan used his millions to scoop up all the indie talent for AEW, then WWE, once they saw that it worked, used their billions to scoop up the rest, plus anyone they wanted from AEW. All of that just to set up a metaphor of Netflix just pulled a WWE, scooping up all the indie-fed talent and acquiring any major podcast that had over 1 million subs. Worth it, itchy. My point is that all of these industries are the same. Okay, why do you have to have a point? Who are you? I don't know. A guy with a microphone. That means something. That means everything. So they buy up all the already established artists and put them on a bigger platform, and then they pat themselves on the back for their creation. And like podcasts, the film industry's short-sighted, money-grubbing executives starve out competition, monopolize, then spoon-feed drivel from the same few IPs until people can't take it anymore, and seek alternatives, if there are any. Like I said, it's all about reach.
I got it.
Joe Rogan, an early adopter of podcasts, still reigns supreme at number 1, for now. Neck and pussy with this cretin. Call her Daddy's Alex Cooper. Nah, I mean, no shade, do your thing. Okay, little shade. Look, I'm not gonna pretend to know what's going on with the medium or where it's going. It's survived the format jump from solely audio to audio and video, and now audio and whatever this is. Custom, bespoke, I'm talking straight to you, Brian. Algorithm perfect, podcasts that know you, know your tastes, and cater to your every Jesus. And in these desperate times, it's no wonder that everyone and their mummy are starting podcasts. The proof is in the pudding. I'd watch that. I mean, it can still be a reliable medium, but mostly in this media shakeup, it's purely for entertainment, commiseration, or whatever this is.
I think it'd be really fun to have YouTube produce an all YouTuber, like Wizard of Oz or something like that.
Like how Fox does their, Fox will do a version with,
but let's get Markiplier to be the wizard.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And everyone.
I honestly barely know what the show is. Like porn, if you can think of it, it probably exists, and if there's a topic, you can podcast it. Ranking fast food bathrooms, people who attend conventions for things they secretly dislike, podcasts about podcasts that cover podcasts, and despite the ever-growing numbers, there's still some standouts from mostly stand-ups. Yeah, man, so you're clearly dying. It's really cool of you to come on my podcast on your last weekend.
You know, it's been a real struggle.
Yeah, there was that one dude with cancer, you might know him, that just really wanted to play GTA 6, so he contacted the developer, and the dude got to play it real early. That was really cool. I wish I could have do that.
Yeah, well, the uncertainty of what comes
and
next
that dude
has
that got
been
like 35 years in prison, and that just wanted to play GTA 6, so I'm honored you decided to come on, you know. I know you could be on other podcasts or playing GTA 6 or something.
My family's been so supportive.
Yeah, the support for GTA 6 is going to be huge.
Okay, I did play GTA 6 and it was fine. It played like GTA 5. But then I realized something special. I realized I wanted to go on a podcast, that my dream had always been to podcast. It's the pinnacle of human achievement.
What about before 2004?
Before 2004, I wasn't a realized person. It wasn't until I got cancer that podcast really entered my life, because with the chemo,
that's beautiful,
it's
man.
so
well,
boring
that's all the time we have for this
and
episode. Well, actually, stamps.com. When the post office is all the way, like you got to get in the car and shit. Oh man, what's such a pain in the ass. Neil Brennan has a new podcast. Let's check that out.
Hello, I'm Neil Breen. I am here now, and this is Breen Waves. Breen Waves, yeah.
Wait, no, that's not him. But if Neil Breen did have a podcast, I would surely listen. Let me know if you want to collab on this. Fucking legend. My guest today is a guy I've known, well, really forever. He was the co-creator and co-writer of Chappelle's Show, a stand-up comedian with multiple Netflix specials, my mentor, you know him, you love him, Neil Brennan. So what's the new podcast about, Neil? Meaning, what's the new podcast about, Neil? I don't want to brag, but I have a lot of black friends. We know. So I talk about that, my friendship with Dave Chappelle, the show, other black people I know, all this and more on Blacks. I don't think you can say that, or you can't say that. What? I've been grandfathered in. Hey, did you like that? Did you like it? Did you like it, though? Okay, admittedly, that was a deep cut of a semi-deep cut in its own right, and semi-offensive. But if you know, you really know. Also, I like Neil Brennan and his show. God, stop apologizing. Ugh. Okay, you'll like this one. It's a doozy.
Hello, and welcome to Charlotte's Dark Web. Today's topic, you can't spell Epstein without T-E-E-N.
Okay, I think we've seen enough new podcasts. Good Hang with Amy Poehler showed up on the scene and instantly won the first mainstream podcast award, which led every Dratch, Cleghorn, and Gross to come out of the woodwork in search of once faded, then faded even more, and now somewhat barely shiny glory. It's like that one Ben Stiller recurring SNL character where he breaks into your garage to do a podcast and everyone thinks he's a raccoon, and then you can't make him leave because of squatters' rights or something. He was never on SNL. You're thinking of Jim Carrey, who was also never on SNL. You're thinking of this guy. Turns out the reason Joe Rogan didn't win the Golden Globes Podcast Award, despite his obvious #1 status, is because he didn't pay the $500 entry fee. He didn't need the validation or the participation trophy. He's been #1 for 6 years, so love him or hate him, good on him. So comedy is a surefire winner, what about tragedy? Well, that's why you have every one of those hundreds of thousands of true crime podcasts. True crime remains hugely popular, but growth is slowing as the genre matures, or maybe as DNA technology matures. A lot of slackers out there not murdering innocents, which reminds me, are serial killers horror icons? Well, they certainly inspire a lot of debate, and if you think so, then ask yourself who's your favorite warlord or cult leader? Manson. And drug cartel boss, human experimenter, state surveillance gang violence proponent, human trafficker, environmental destructor lady, animal cruelty guy, cultural appropriating kid. Man, did I want those when I was a kid. I get it, podcasts wouldn't be interesting without the criminal intrigue, and Netflix probably wouldn't be a network. But you gotta hand it to this guy who bought up as much John Wayne Gacy art as he could with the sole purpose of destroying it. So serial killers, interesting? Maybe. Confounding? Definitely. Cool? Nah. I mean, I really wish there were more topics to talk about that didn't profit off the misfortune, horrific murder of many, many people's family members. So we've had audio, video, and disco.
Warmer. Disco.
And crypto, financial podcasts, and this is not financial advice gurus, and also follow my every move so I can inflate stocks and pull the rug to financial freedom gurus. Remember NFTs? Yeah, no, neither does anyone else. Except probably this guy. Does the next generation even listen to podcasts? I don't know. There's a lot of emphasis on appealing to the youth, but why do that when anyone over 30 is considered old to them? And that means that 60% of the world is then old. Wait, you guys knew all of this? So then why have I been ranting on all about the history of podcasts and how it connects to capitalism and other forms of media decline? Am I trying to teach you something so that you feel productive but learn nothing with ads? Is this Wikipedia regurgitated with a spin of irony? Am I TED talking on a soapbox? Grandstanding? Op-edding? Finger wagging? Am I podcasting? Fuck!
The preceding production has been brought to you by Barry's Sherries, the cooking sherries that make any meal merry. This has been Splatter Sig's Rant and Rave Putrid podcast, a production of I Hate Radio. That was only 30 minutes, which seems... Can you stop?